welcome to another edition of our podcast. I am Detective Artemis.
And as always, it's me, the incomparable bloke, your boy Kai.
And today we're going to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 Virgin Galactic Stock. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to our podcast where today we celebrate the 10th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I am Detective Artemis.
As always, it's me, your boy K.
And this is Drink to a Decade podcast. Cheers, batch.
Clink.
So, Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2. So, I can honestly say that like up until a couple of years ago, I was happy with not being a fan of Harry Potter. I never saw the movies, didn't give a shit about the books, but it was, honestly, until like my wife got me into like, all right, fine, I'll check it out. And you know what? I don't hate it. It's pretty cool. I get why people will like it so much. So I know you've read the books as a kid and you hate the movies. So this should be pretty interesting, dude. So your thoughts when you first read the books as a kid, take a stare.
All right, so you got to understand, dude. Like, I started reading the books also when I was, I was super young. I think I was in 4th grade. And how old are you in 4th grade? Like 9 or 8 or some shit,
I was like 2 years old, so I don't know.
Yeah, there were already 3 books out up to Prisoner Azkaban. So I read those back to forward to back for like 2 years. And then I graduated 5th grade, and then Goblet of Fire came out. And that was like, I was such a nerd as a kid that my graduation. Well, I'm such a as a kid, I was such a nerd. I still am that nerd. But my graduation present from going from elementary to middle school was that I got my parents bought me the Goblet of Fire. And my first 2 days of summer break, that's all I fucking did was read this book because I was so enthralled. And after, I read Harry Potter till I think Half-Blood Prince came out when I was 18. And the Deathly Hallows came out when I was 20. So, I mean, up until that point, if I think about it, like I spent most of my life reading fucking Harry Potter and just waiting for the new stuff to come out.
This is the nerdiest shit I've ever heard in my life, man.
It is, and it's
I'm just kidding. It's totally cool, man. So, you said Goblet of Fire was your first book?
That was the first new one that I read because
okay.
The Prisoner of Azkaban was already out.
So, what's your favorite book?
Goblet of Fire. Not because that was the first new one that I read, but had the dopest storyline. Like, I mean, come on, it was the Return of the Dark Lord. Fucking Diggory died. They had the death of a child in the book.
Okay, well,
all right.
Well, for this episode, we're actually gonna try to skip talking about books 1 through 4. So we'll come back for that one for the Sorcerer's Stone anniversary
in another time. But if we're talking about Order of the Phoenix and up,
yeah.
Then, I think Order of the Phoenix was cool. I think Order of the Phoenix gets the most shit out of all the books. People are unhappy with it. I thought it was a solid read, And again, I was like 15, 16 when it came out. So that was cool for me. Boy, I mean, we're talking about the Deathly Hallows.
What did you think of it when you saw the movie? Because I know at that point you already read the book.
Yeah, when I saw the movies, and I'm probably the worst person to see the movies with because I will point out everything that is.
That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Yeah, I'll sit there. I'll sit there and be like, "It's bullshit. That's not actual. That's not real. That's not real. None of this happened in the book. It's all bullshit. Yeah. Fuck these people.
All these inaccuracies and all this shit. Like, oh no, he wasn't white and all this stuff."
Right, like I fucking know from the literature. The No Pictures book was like, that guy wasn't white. I feel it in my bones.
When I first saw it, I started from the beginning a couple of years ago, and I actually, when we got to the end of it, I liked the culmination of it all. But you mentioned this earlier off mics that part 1 was pretty boring, and I've been thinking about it, and yeah, dude, like part 1, nothing happened until like fucking he got the sword. Yeah,
to the very end, and then that was cool, but it was just them, and I mean, it was the same in the book. It felt like it dragged a bit, but it was just them basically running and hiding, and then Ron left, and then it was just fucking by far Harry and Hermione. I can see why they weren't shipped because they're fucking the most boring couple in the world. They didn't do shit of noteworthiness. They needed Ron. Ron was that comic relief. You know, he was the hill. You need the dumb guy there to make the two smart motherfuckers shine.
I can't believe you just said shipped, but I'm gonna move past that part. How different was the movie from the book? Because like, I'm sure like these movies are missing a ton of story from the books, but a movie can only tell so much at a time. So were there any main changes that you can remember?
That's a difficult one. Again, it's been a couple years since I read the books. I feel like the relationship that Harry developed with Creature was underplayed in the book. I know that they'd never had. I mean, in the movie, it was underdeveloped. I know that they never had Winky in there. I don't remember if she was part of the seventh book, but I mean, just as a whole, they were, you know, there were scenes obviously that they cut out of the movie, from the book because you just can't tell the whole story of a book in a movie format. It just wouldn't make fucking sense. You know?
Now, wasn't Creature that like the drunk elf? Wasn't he always drinking?
He wasn't, not in the books. He wasn't drinking. He was just mad. He was just fucking, you know, he hated people. He hated the people invading his house, especially because, you know, it was the Black House. They're very old wizarding family, you know, setting their traditions, and he was the elf. He was proud of that fact.
Right.
And you had all these strangers that were, you know, as he would call them, mudbloods or half-bloods or anything. You know, they weren't pure wizarding, and he felt that was a disrespect to basically just everything that he fucking knew of until that point. But, I mean, he did develop a really close relationship with Harry in the seventh book because, you know, just they bonded over the Harry looking for the locket of Regulus, which was Sirius's brother. And I think after they destroyed the Horcrux, he ended up letting, you know, Creature keep that, and Creature loved it, you know, and that's what turned him into being a loyal servant for Harry, you know.
Right, and like, don't these wizards, like especially like the purebloods, I guess, treat the elves like they're so beneath them, even though they're like arguably more powerful than them, like, because can't the elves just apparate into Hogwarts and like the wizards can't?
Yeah, that is something that they're able to do. Elves, they have powerful magic on their own, but I mean, it's like it's almost like if you look at anything, like take America and slavery. You know, I don't want to bring it to that, but
let's do it.
Take it that's what it was. If you look at these house elves, they're subservient. They have been honestly like robbed of just their everything that makes them uniquely, like their dependency. And they're codependent on their masters. Their whole life is to live to
we see how happy Dobby gets, you know.
Yeah, and Dobby was a fucking weirdo to them. Like, he was like, I want clothes, I want to get paid, and all the other elves, like, which they never showed in the movies, but in the books, like, you know, they snuck into the kitchens a couple times, especially in like Half-Blood Prince and Order of the Phoenix, and they talk to the other elves, and they're like, why aren't you guys like Dobby? And the other elves are fucking straight up disrespected. They would be like, would you want me to take clothes? How fucking dare you? This is Hogwarts, all right? This isn't B League. This is the majors. We up here batting games over here.
I would love to hear a roast of Dobby from the other elves.
He was just fucking, they shunned him and looked at him like he was fucking crazy. But I mean, dude was wearing like 10 hats, 20 shirts, and 3 pairs of socks at all times. Like, he didn't know how to separate and style.
And it's messed up because like these elves, man, they were so loyal to their masters that like when they fucked up, they like physically punished themselves and shit like that.
It's they're indoctrinated into it, you know, and that's, you know, you just can't get out of that. It's years and years of, or decades, hundreds of years, however long wizarding community has been going on. Elves have been underfoot, but I mean, like, every other magical creature was underfoot. I don't know if you remember, it wasn't Goblet of Fire, it was Order of the Phoenix when they broke into the Ministry of Magic. Yeah. Oh no. So it was Deathly Hallows. Deathly Hallows Part 1 when they broke into the
Order. Where they like they changed forms into like the people. They broke
into the Ministry, and they had it was a statue there. Where before it was like, you know, wizards and everybody living harmoniously, but I don't remember if it was in the movie, but in the book, the statue became basically like wizards lording over the other races, like goblins, elves, centaurs, and shit, like all the other magical beings with sentience. Them, basically being the underfoot characters for wizards. And it was to show that, wizards are indeed the indomitable species and that they should be at the top of the fucking food chain.
Right. You mentioned centaurs, and I'm instantly reminded of Professor Umbridge, who gets banged by the centaurs. Doesn't she?
Oh, we don't know if she gets banged. It's
they
a teenager's book. It's a teenager's book. We know she gets fucking. They hog tie her and torture her, I guess. But she also like gets picked up. I mean, but there was a fucking giant in the forest. She hates half bloods, as she calls them, like creatures of half human, half whatever.
She was a great villain, I think. She looked like this sweet old lady, but then she's like just a total fucking like bitch.
She really was a good evil. She was, can I say cunt? No, I'm gonna say cunt.
Well, you just did, so it's fine.
She was an absolute cunt.
See you next Tuesday.
And yeah, she was a see you next Tuesday, and
it's a live show, guys. It's a live show.
Drink, Ernie. Not coffee. Drink some alcohol. But in the books, I think they translated her character really well. In the show, she was just like a really girly girl. Like everything they described of her was really pink, frilly. She cleared her throat, and at the end of the day, like with her poisonous cunt attitude, it really translated into just like the perfect evil being. Like, you hated Snape, you can always hate Snape.
Don't get me started on Snape.
Umbridge made your boy Harry bleed, made him must not tell lies with his own blood from his hand. Like, she was truly a poisonous bitch.
She was twisted, dude.
She was fucked up, and she was there under the Ministry of Magic because Cornelius Fudge was such a fucking cuck that he couldn't take. Oh, Voldemort being back. Oh no, that can't be real.
It annoys me in a way, I guess, because like it's in these movies we're already implanted to know that Slytherins are the bad guys. They're the bad guys. Like all the professors in the beginning. Was it Lockhart? He was a Slytherin. The dark arts teacher. All the dark arts teachers.
Was Lockhart a Slytherin? No, yeah, I don't remember if Lockhart was a Slytherin. I thought Lockhart was a Hufflepuff or anything. Yeah,
was he? Who was the one who had Voldemort in his head?
That was Quirrell.
Quirrell. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's what we went. Lockhart was the professor of the Defense Against Dark Arts.
He was the guy in the book.
Number 2.
Yeah. He was the book. Yeah. Okay. So all these dudes are like mostly Slytherin, and it bugs me because it feels a little like one-dimensional. Like, I want to see a movie where a Gryffindor is the bad guy and a Slytherin is the good guy.
Well, I mean,
that'd be pretty cool dynamic.
There aren't any dicks that are Gryffindor. Keep wanting to say Slytherin. Who? Pettigrew? Yeah, actually, that's a fucking Ernie just said.
What is it?
Peter Pettigrew.
Wormtail?
He was, Wormtail was Gryffindor, and he betrayed
he
fucking
was
Lily
a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
There you go. That's your douche right there.
I need more, though.
The drunk elf? Yeah, I know the drunk elf was Winky. Yeah, Dobby was.
Okay. Thank you. I was like, one of these motherfucking elves were drunk.
But
I like him.
They didn't show Winky in the movies, did they?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Okay.
I remember that. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I need more Slytherin good guys, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, Harry Potter's son.
Don't say it.
Albus Severus, he's a fucking Slytherin.
Yeah, but like he named his kids after two people who like wanted him dead.
Well, Albus didn't want him dead.
He sent him to slaughter.
He did but he had to die in order to kill the last part of the Horcrux.
He totally signed the lamb, sir.
It wasn't like a death. Like, he didn't fucking die. Just got a part of his the evil part of his soul killed, basically.
No, even Snape was like, "You want the boy to die, you led him to slaughter."
See there's in the movie, that's not necessarily in the books, and at least like that, But Snape, in his own way, in his own fucked up, evil asshole way, played us for the whole time I was reading the books, I was like, fuck Snape. I hope he
was a total simp.
I hope he stubs his big toe. I hope his kids forget how to read. I hope he can't magic his dick one day and he can't fuck this chick. I'm just wishing all the worst things on him. And the only person I've ever met who was like, this is misdirection, was my oldest brother who's reading the books. He was like, dude, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be turned out to be a good guy. And I was like, nah, he's a cunt. He's an asshole. It's fucking Snape. Severus, the good guy. He's made Harry's life a living hell. And I was proven wrong, and that shows never trust the author. Never trust them to make an evil character evil.
True. But go ahead.
I will say, in regards to Snape, though, and for the movies, Alan Rickman was a stone cold choice.
Turn to page 394.
That's a good impression. That was nice, dude. That was good. He embodied Snape, you know.
Always.
Even though he was older, but I mean, like, if there's anything I can take away from the movies, which, you know, as you know, I didn't enjoy that much because I compare them to the books constantly, is that Alan Rickman was Severus fucking Snape. If they were to ever reboot this or redo it, I mean, like, how are you gonna fill that? How are you gonna fill that role?
It would be indeed big shoes to fill. But I'm glad you bring up like reboots and shit, because like, what if? Okay, hear me out. So there's so much story in these Harry Potter books that like a movie can only tell so much of it, and a lot of it's, you know, inevitably going to be left out. So what if they do the Game of Thrones approach, where they do one season of one book? Do you think that would work?
I think it would be much better than taking the movie approach to it, because there's so much story that, for especially towards the latter books, you know, you can get through the first two books in a day, I believe. Like, I think I read both of those in one day, knocked out the third in another day, and then from there 4, 5, and 6 they start getting longer. But I would love to see them in like in a television format, you know, like a season. It doesn't have to be like 13 or something episodes. It can be a 6-episode season, and I think they would be able to get through most of the story.
Like an hour and a half episode or something.
Hour each episode, absolutely. And you can get through most episodes, at least in the earlier books.
Right, because like these movies, they are no by any means like an hour and a half, 90-minute movies. Every movie is like at least over 2 hours long.
Oh yeah, they're long.
And they try to put everything as much as they can in there, but you're always gonna leave some shit out because, you know, it's an adaptation before, you know.
It's not a mirror copy.
Right. Yeah. It has to be a movie first before like the source material.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So if they take the Game of Thrones approach with an actual ending this time, I think it could work out because you have more chance to tell these stories that people don't even know about, you know, the Harry Potter stuff. Because like I never read the books, but I know some things. But I also know that there's people who watch the movies but never read the books, and to like have them know all this information that was already there but never told could be pretty like eye-opening for them and make them like appreciate certain characters more. Like, I hate Ginny, I hate Tonks. In the movies, they were basura, they were trash, but I'm told by my wife that they were really good in the books.
Well, Ginny is way better in the books than she translates to in the movies. Tonks is cool too. She doesn't get that many appearances. If I remember correctly, she first makes her appearance.
I like her name, her first name.
Nymphadora.
Yeah.
Nymphadora
Tonks. The Explorer. Okay.
Yeah, she wants it. Yeah. Well, she wanted. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ernie over here with the zingers.
You didn't hear Journey, but he said that Nymphadora likes it doggy style. That is the best joke I've heard.
Great.
I have the bar very low with him, so that was really good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, she was much cooler in the books than they gave her credit for in the show. And I get it, you know, she's sort of not even like a secondary, she's sort of a tertiary character, you know, she's just there to fill out space, provide a subplot, you know, of things to come. I mean, and wasn't she fucking also related to Bellatrix?
Yeah, that was her niece.
Yeah, that was her niece. Yeah,
that was her niece.
Because wizarding families, the wizarding world is basically fucking Alabama.
Yeah, it's like 5 cousins. Families. Everyone's fucking,
and everybody's cousin, and they're all fucking.
That's how you keep the blood pure.
That is.
You gotta bang your third cousin.
If you really think about it, that's what the whole point of the story was. Voldemort just wanted to keep incest a viable option. He wanted to keep the bloodlines pure. He wanted to fuck his cousins.
Like classic royal family.
Must keep the bloodline pure and free from tampering.
Mudblood. Speaking of Bellatrix, dude, is my personal favorite villain of the series because she kills Sirius. She fucks with Neville's parents in a fate worse than death. And she does all this stuff, and I think she's a great villain. I didn't like how she was taken up by fucking housewife Mrs. Weasley.
But see, in the movie, and that's what I was saying earlier. We were watching the movie, and the fighting in the movie seems a little bit more. I mean, it's for dramatic effect, but it's definitely a lot slower pace than they made it seem in the book. Like in the book, Ginny and fucking Bellatrix,
Her name is Ginevra.
They're going at it, dude. Like, I mean, wands are flicking from side to side. They're basically waving the wands and tossing spells right at the apex of the swing, And Mrs. Weasley sees this from like across the room, and she comes in. She's like, "Not my daughter, bitch!" And she goes to town, and she runs it. She runs it in a way that Sirius couldn't, because Sirius was taking it as a joke. He was playing around a lot, and when he died, it was the most confusing shit for me.
He's like, "What the fuck?" And he falls in that little thing.
They never really explain what the fuck happened. They just explained that there was that daze, and that there was it was like a curtain, a cloak, and that he fell behind it, and that meant that he fucking died. Like he got hit in the chest with the spell.
And wasn't
they didn't say what the spell was.
I could have sworn in the movie I hear the Avada Kedavra.
That was never stated. It was never fucking called what spell it was.
It must have been like a post-production thing where they added it or something. But wasn't Sirius like her cousin as well, or her nephew?
Sirius was her cousin. Yeah.
Dude, so and Tonks was her niece. Yeah. She's just fucking straight up killing her family.
I'm telling dude,
great villain.
Wizarding families, there aren't that many fucking purebloods. Like, in order to be a pureblood, you gotta fuck wizards, but there aren't that many wizarding families. I killed
Sirius Black.
And, you're gonna, chances are, then that's what I'm saying. Voldemort just wanted incest to be cool, He just wanted to fuck his cousin and people not make fun of him. Like, "Oh, you're blowing me cousin, fucker. Look at him going off to bugger his cousin."
Well, see, Voldemort knows best. Get it? Because his nose?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, yeah. You can't tell, but people are laughing a lot right now.
No, they're dying.
Anyways, so we mentioned all this stuff, and I'm going to go back to Neville because I think Neville is my favorite character because he had, to me, a bigger arc than fucking Harry Potter.
I don't know how you say that because Neville was carried for 5 books, and then he was cool for one, maybe like half a book, and then he was dope for the last fucking 100 pages of the Deathly Hallows.
What I'm saying is that like he started off as like some fucking like idiot loser who like everyone hated. He started off as a joke.
I don't know. I think
whoa. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought. I have friends. I'm an idiot loser. All right, just be cool. That's the point.
But does everybody hate you?
I don't know that, and I don't want to ask. Anyways, so he started off as like a kid who was just like. Because what's the prophecy that one kid born at the end of July will be the one to kill Voldemort, and his birthday was right there
Neville
too.
Could be one of them. Also.
Yeah, and then his parents went fucking crazy.
But his parents were full blood. That's what they're saying. That Voldemort chose the half blood, Harry,
because he saw himself in him.
Yeah, that's lame. Because Neville killed Nagini, which was the last Horcrux.
Yeah, just the fucking one.
Wait, and if it wasn't for Neville, Harry wouldn't have, been able to do it.
Yeah,
so Harry always needs help from somebody. Harry is trash.
The other 5 fucking Horcruxes before his own soul.
No, didn't fucking like Hermione and Ron destroy one too?
Oh, I'm sorry, the Harry posse, his boys. That'd be like if
Ron in the first movie peaked. He with the fucking chess game. He couldn't even do it without Ron.
That'd be like if we all wrote a movie together, but it was really Ernie writing the whole fucking movie, and then us being like, "Nah, I don't like that part." Every now and then we get writer's credit. That's fucking Neville.
Yeah. We're not Ben Affleck in this. All right, Harry needed everyone's help, and like in every movie. So there you go.
Nah, son, Goblet of Fire was all him. He carried Cedric Diggory back. I mean, he got some advice from Ghost, but he carried the body back.
He needed help.
Moody did guide him through the maze.
See?
Fucking A. All right, let's see.
Harry can't do it, dude. He's like, "I'm Harry Potter." At the movie, he's like, "I'm fucking Harry Potter."
What about Order of the Phoenix? Who guided him there? They tried to teach him occlumency, but didn't work.
Guided him to where he was at through the
You're gonna use one movie out of 7.
I'm just saying. Let's see.
Neville, sir. Neville.
Who guided Harry through?
It's worse
Order
for
of
Neville
the Phoenix.
because it's worse for Neville because he can't even like.
Where'd he
if
get
he
his guidance
goes,
from,
if he
huh?
goes to his parents, like they're fucking like they're worse than being dead. They're not like they don't even know
He
him.
was giving Harry the answers when he was trying to find out who Nicholas Flamel was in movie 1. Like, I mean, your boy did a lot of work. He had Hermione there.
Okay, you know
bagging
what?
him up.
All right,
Bagging him
I'm
up.
gonna metaphorically drop the mic because I don't want to mess up any equipment. But in the end of part 1, who gets the last 5 points for Gryffindor to win? It was Neville.
For trying to. For
I'm
being
gonna
a,
fight
for
ya.
being a little bitch boy. trying to stop his
Gryffindor
friends.
won because of Neville again, helping Harry Potter out.
Sorry, Neville got 5 points. Dumbledore was giving out 50s and 20s left and right, and Neville got 5.
Enough for Gryffindor to win.
Just
Enough for
because
Gryffindor to win.
Dumbledore had a soft spot for Harry, but couldn't give him, say, 25 points, just because Neville had to get a little shine. Because his parents were fucking crazy because they got tortured to crazy.
Yes, because Neville's a better character. He has
And
a more
yet-
tragic backstory.
And yet, Dumbledore didn't give a shit about Neville. When was Dumbledore helping out Neville? Calling him in the office, telling him, it's going to be all right, son. You were carrying a grown man's burden and all this shit that he was doing for Harry.
It was favoritism. It was nepotism just because he didn't have a fucking lightning bolt in his forehead. So a lot of people like to think Snape as a hero because he did all this shit for the greater good for Harry. To
Wasn't
me,
for Harry.
yeah, it was or his mom
For Harry.
because he was forever
'cause
friend zone,
He
simp,
was
soy
simping,
boy,
Yeah, he was simping. Cuck beta soy boy.
beta cook. But like honestly though, it is a little sad when he gets like fucked up by Nagini and he's like, "Take my tears, take them," and we see this whole backstory. And the funny thing in the movie is that like you have your mother's eyes, even though in the movie Mama Potter didn't have the same eye
She had
color.
fucking green eyes. They never like.
Or yeah, Harry was the one with different eyes. Yeah, there we go.
Harry. I mean, he didn't have black hair either. I mean, courtesy to Daniel Radcliffe or anything, but I would have dyed that 10-year-old's head black. Just to fucking gave him some contact just to go in continuity.
I think they tried to give him context though, but like I think he was like had like an allergic reaction to it. I think I saw that somewhere.
So he has too much bitch in the system.
They're just like, fuck it. We'll just act like they're the same color eyes.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they fucking did. And I mean, it's realistic. I give it to them there. You can't get everything right. I mean, they got the redheads right for the most part. The Weasley family, even though they never talked about Bill or Charlie.
Yeah, which is the dragon brother? Was it Charlie?
That's Charlie. Yeah. Did they mentioned Percy in the first movie, right? Like he was there for the first one, but then after
No,
that,
in Deathly Hallows
Yeah.
part. He was in part 1. He was part of the 7 Harry Potters, right?
yeah.
And wasn't he banging Fleur de la Cour?
No, that's Bill. That's Bill. That's the oldest brother.
Wait, so Percy is the was
Percy-
he like
Percy-
the hall monitor?
Yeah, Percy was the snitch.
Oh yeah, and he joined the ministry, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
was,
there we go.
Fudge's secretary.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
wasn't him that one guy Madingus?
Oh, Mundungus Fletcher.
I like Madingus better,
Dung, as his aptly homies called him.
dude. I in the movie when Hedwig dies, it's so brief. You don't really get a basket in, but Laura was telling me that in the book, there's this whole thing where like Harry's like, go back for Hedwig.
Because Hedwig's been a part of his life since like his life started getting like not better, but like semi decent. He was still with the Dursleys, but Hedwig was with him from when he found out he was a wizard. Like the next day, he
Yeah,
got her.
what I'm saying though is that like they didn't put that much like emotional emphasis in the movie, and that's why I think
he was sort of like,
Oh,
shit,
fuck, my bird's
owl
dead.
died.
Oh, well.
Guess I better get another one like as soon as all this is over, because shit.
So I think this goes back to what we're saying is that like this could work better as a series.
As a series, honestly. Well, that's because most things will work better as a series, especially being translated from books. Like you get you get a better amount of time to tell the whole story as opposed to just this 2-hour max most times segment that you have to tell an entire
Yeah, I think that should
story.
be like a new like rule of thumb. Like if you have a series of novels that are like more than 3 or whatever, it should be a series. And if you have 1 book or 2 books, make them into movies.
Well, that's why and that's it seems to be becoming more popular. Like Amazon has the fucking Lord of the Rings series
Right, that's
coming out.
eventually going to come out one year.
Disney which I'm stoked for, has the Percy Jackson series coming
That's
out
right.
as a live action show, which should do much better than the fucking bullshit movies. It just, it seems that a lot of things are starting to go that way. Like, Game of Thrones, look at it,
Right. Do you think they're going to remake the last season?
No.
You don't think so?
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Because
Why? Yeah.
I don't know, because like we see like Warner Bros. Get bullied into like fucking releasing the Snyder Cut.
They'll remake the last season when George R.R. Martin releases the last fucking book.
So then you do think it'll be remade?
How long is it going to take for him to release the last book? They're still making money off that last season. That only came out a few years
Hopefully
ago.
I get Elder Scrolls 6 before that happens, because I've been waiting a long time for that one.
Yeah, I feel like they'll release it as a if and this is a large if they choose to release it, it'll be like special commemorative thing. The last book, the Game of Thrones, how it truly goes, and they'll have both seasons as like optional, which one you want to watch. Or
the George R.R. Martin cut.
Yeah. The George R.R. Martin cut. Yeah.
It'll be, and then like they'll release a special edition where it's in black and white.
No, I think that's exclusively Snyder. Just because he's a dramatic fucker.
Yeah. So who's your favorite Harry Potter character?
Fred and George Weasley, man. They were the realest. They were the coolest characters. They were comedians. They were fucking smart as fuck. Opened their own business, made baller amounts of money, and they ran shit like fucking gangsters.
You ever watched Shark Tank before?
No.
No? You ever heard of Shark Tank?
I know what Shark Tank is. I just never watch it.
Oh, okay. Because I think it would have been funny if there was an episode where they see Fred and George try to open up. Was it the shop?
Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes.
Okay. Never mind. Forget this part, because you guys don't watch Shark Tank because you guys are not old idiots. So the way I remember which twin is dead is Fred. Fred is dead. That's how I remember it.
That was truly the most devastating part. Like, I didn't give a fuck about Hedwig. Because she was an owl.
More like Deadwig.
Yeah, Deadwig. Fuck, I was like, all right, so the owl dies. Cool. That's starting it off. It sets the tone. Sometimes you need that opening scene where something familiar, something that's been there for a while, fucking dies. And that was Hedwig.
And then, like, in Deathly Hallows Part 1, you get, like, sort of a foreshadowing when George gets his ear sliced. Mm-hmm. And you're like, holy shit.
I did not see Fred dying coming. I was fucking... Everybody that died, I thought Jenny was going to die.
I was hoping Jenny would die.
I thought Mr.
Maybe it should be some, like, important...
Mr. Weasley or Percy would die. And if Percy had died, I was fucking ready to laugh. I was like, fuck that nerd about bullshit, snitch-ass bitch. Sold out his own family for some rules.
Oh, look at me. I have standards.
Yeah, he was always too uptight for my liking. But when Fred died, dude, like, not gonna lie, that shit hit me. Like, it was a tear that came out. I was like, not my dog. What's George gonna do now?
Yeah, he's so used to having his twin. Like, he'll say his like little jokes, and like he'll look to his side as his brother's not there anymore. That is pretty sad to like really sit there and think about.
It is, dude. Like, I mean, any siblings dying is always like a fucked up
especially
affair,
twins though. Like, you go from the womb to the tomb.
More,
it's like it's crazy.
Even more. Like, I couldn't imagine. And then I think didn't George get like fucked up too though?
One of the brothers got bit by a wolf.
That was Bill. Bill was like half a werewolf or something. Oh, he got scratched. His face got mangled by.
Yeah, he had like the fucking Sub-Zero scar or whatever.
George lost an ear.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah,
I just said that. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Anyways,
I would have been devastated if Hagrid died though. Like,
man,
I would have probably stopped reading the book at that point, or like turned off the movie. Like, you can't kill Rubeus Hagrid.
You're a wizard, Harry.
He was the one. You're a wizard, Harry.
I never thought
First
about
connection with the magical world.
Yeah, I never thought about it since like freaking like Laura brought up like Hagrid was a true father figure to like fucking Harry was.
I don't
more than Sirius.
He was definitely a role model. He was in,
Why couldn't he name his kid after Hagrid?
It's because Hagrid didn't fucking die. He was probably still alive with his giant ass blood, fucking sitting there. Hello, Harry, is this your spawn? Oh, come on with me to Hogwarts now, lad.
I probably shouldn't have said that.
Come on down to my hut and watch me get drunk and
Dude,
play with my dog.
Hagrid is
who's
probably
30 years old.
Hagrid is the coolest and probably like the person I would love to have like a fucking beer with.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, absolutely that. But if you think about it in context of a fucking school groundskeeper, was he really appropriate?
No, not at all.
He's over here.
Come to my
to
house.
Come to my cabin. I feel like Hagrid though. Like nobody. Isn't that one thing? Like
I think
it's
Hagrid,
like, hey Hagrid, you got to stop letting kids come to your house, bro. Like after school, you're getting drunk and shit. You're fucking offering them fucked up rock food. Like,
see, I don't think he was
you
like
got blasted scroots. Like this isn't safe, and it seems kind of sexual. If I'm being honest, like we're all talking about it.
See, I don't think Hagrid would be like interpreted as like banging kids or whatever, but like he was
He
definitely
couldn't bang them. His dick was probably taller than all the kids. That's that Giant's blood, baby.
But he was definitely like inappropriate. He was like that weird wild uncle, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I am the weird wild uncle, not banging kids, but
so
just
I don't know what to add to that. So Deathly Hallows Part 2 has its 10th year anniversary, and later on this year in November we have the fucking 20th year of Sorcerer's or Philosopher's Stone for all you UK kids.
This is America.
The Sorcerer's Stone.
Philosopher's Stone.
No, Philosopher's Stone.
This isn't Full Metal Alchemist. We don't talk about Philosopher's Stones. Sorcerer's Stones in this bitch.
All right, well, I'm not a weeb, so I don't get that shit. So in November, we will come back for the 20th anniversary. Fucking 20 years of goddamn Harry Potter.
Actually, like the first one was I think the only one that I saw in theaters.
I think
I was like 12 or something when it came out. It was 2002.
2001.
2001.
Yes.
No. So 2001. So I was
because it'll be the 20th year because it's 2021.
Yeah, I was 12.
Yeah,
I was 12 when that first came out.
And mentally, you were 6
with my dad, and I just remember this motherfucker passing out in the theater, which he did so often.
Right.
And then like
I see myself doing that,
snoring loud. And I was shaking, making him like, shit's embarrassing. You're sitting next to a grown ass man who's snoring in the middle of a movie theater. Shook him to wake him up, and he got mad at me like it was my fault he was sleeping.
Like why you wake me up, asshole?
Yeah, like it's like you ruined the movie for you. Shut up.
Just like move to like the row behind him. Like I don't know this guy.
That's why I sit like a seat apart from people now whenever I go to the movies.
Oh man,
yeah, dude, I remember seeing that as a kid. And the thing that struck me most about it, like I think I enjoyed it a lot more as a child than I did as an adult. Just with the book to movie transfer,
right? But
the thing that struck me the most was the Harry Potter theme song. How haunting it was. The
main theme.
Yeah, the main theme.
You know who did that, right?
Who?
John Williams.
Oh, it's John Williams.
John fucking Williams, my man.
John motherfucking Williams.
He did like the score of like the first couple of movies, and like every composer after that modeled after him.
Does everything he fucking creates just a theme for turn to gold? Like,
dude, John Williams is a legend, man. Amazing.
Yeah, it's just money. Anytime he comes in the studio, it's like, all right, hey everybody, hey, you sound engineer, you're an intern, you're about to get motherfucking paid. Drop this beat.
Dude, John Williams is king. Like every childhood movie you could think of, he more than likely did it.
That's crazy. But that is one of my fondest memories. I used to really. And
also the director for the first two movies was Chris Columbus. No, not the Spanish explorer, but the director of Home Alone and writer of the first Gremlins movie.
All right. I did not know that.
That's what I'm here for. Chris Columbus.
About the first, how many Dumbledores did they go through before they finally started sticking?
Well, one, I think the first guy in the first two movies, he died.
He died, yeah.
And in part 3 is where they got did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire, Harry?
No, it's part 4.
Well, I mean, it's the same guy. It's from part 3 on.
Yeah.
How does it go? Say it.
Did you put your name in the goblet, Harry? Did you do it? And keep in mind, this is supposed to be the smartest motherfucking wizard.
Yeah.
That everybody knows.
Even in the book, it's like he said it calmly, and he's like, "You put your name in the Goblet of Fire."
Yeah, he was asking just to prove a point, but he knew that fucking Harry didn't do that shit. He put some of the enchantments on himself. You expected Harry to break Dumbledore enchantments? they gave Harry way too much credit because he was kind of a dumbass. Without Hermione,
Told you.
he would not be.
Harry is trash. Neville's king.
No, I didn't say that. If Harry was trash, Neville's fucking the landfill. All right, he's the dump that they take the trash to.
Neville saved him
Except
twice.
For, what was the plant class?
The herbology.
Herbology. Yeah, that was the only one Neville fucking did good at.
Okay, yeah, I rest my case. Thank you, guys. You heard it here. Neville's king.
Well, we can talk about how asshole-ish they really they spent 6 movies, 6 books, or 7 movies and 6 books building up fucking Dumbledore into this heroic person, and then they really just fucking humanize him in that last part. They really make him into okay, yeah, they really just make him into not an asshole, but he's
who are you talking about?
Flawed Dumbledore.
Okay.
He's a deeply flawed person. You spend this whole time looking up to him, and then he fucking dies, and he's just he's the voice of reason. He's the comfort. He's the one that that fucking Voldemort was always terrified of, and he fucking dies by Snape, and you're like, ooh, Snape, you sorry ass bitch. And then you get to the next book, and they're bashing him, and Harry starts to fucking he starts to doubt a little bit, but he still has that faith. But then you just find out all this shit, all the secrets and lies he kept, and how he compartmentalized everything. And it's dude, why is it up to, at the time, this fucking 10-year-old to 17-year-old to save the world? Why is it up to the children? You're the most powerful. This nigga's scared of you. Go out and find some shit. Kill the Horcruxes. If this is what you thought since book 4, since fucking the Chamber of Secrets, that's when he started thinking and realizing that these were Horcruxes. All right? And you wait till 5 years later, it's all right, I'm out. I'm gonna search for these motherfuckers. And then you fucking die. And you leave this huge gaping hole in this orphan's heart who's never known love because the only family you left him with are dicks.
Yeah, that's what you must do, but Severus, you must be the one to kill me.
But dude, just how hard would it? And it's difficult. He says how difficult it was in the books and in the movie. But just tell fucking Harry the truth at any point. Hey, you're gonna have to die in order for you to defeat this guy. But don't worry, it's temporary death. You couldn't have been you had to leave him with that suspense, oh, you're gonna die. Yeah, there's no coming back from that death.
See, my favorite thing about Dumbledore is his name. Do you know his name?
Albus Dumbledore.
No.
Albus Wilfred Dumbledore.
Oh no, he has one more middle name. Actually,
Albus
2 more. Here's his whole name. Here it is.
Ryan.
Wait, let me do one thing. All right,
I'm getting it.
Why you gotta do that?
Go for it.
Albus Percival Wulfric Brian
There it
Dumbledore.
is. I forgot
The
Percival.
Brian thing is so fucking random. It's Albus Percival Wulfric Craig Dumbledore.
You've got all these majestic names. It'd be if my name was let's see, what's a fucking majestic Skylar. Skylar.
What if he was a Craig?
Skylar
Keith.
Pennyforth or Pennyworth.
All right, well, with that being said, I think we are going to wrap it up for today. Are there any last words you want to have for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2? Is it as good as you remember it?
Well, there were certain things that, like I told you, I felt like the last part was a little rushed. Just the whole, they were looking for the diadem of Ravenclaw.
Right.
And in the last one, there was just never any mention, anything like it. There was no setup. And it just felt like a little rushed. I'm glad that Neville got to shine,
There we go.
He was such an underfoot character for so long.
Yep.
He's a little bitch boy.
What?
He was a ponce, as they would say in England. He was a ponce,
All right, whatever.
Maybe a little bit of a poof. Couldn't seal the deal with Jenny.
Have you gone mental?
Couldn't seal the deal with fucking Luna Lovegood.
Yeah, he does at the end.
Does he?
He does.
Oh, okay.
He asks her out. Yeah.
Oh, that's not sealing the deal.
He makes that love good.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm not dissatisfied with how the series ended. I definitely prefer Deathly Hallows.
Were you okay that Harry broke the Elder Wand at the end? Or you think you should have kept it? Because I would have kept it because I'm a power hungry motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we're all power hungry motherfuckers, and that's why we
Yes.
would never get power like that, you know?
They don't have to know.
Well, yeah, and that's why we would never get that power, because we would abuse it and misuse it. We would be Grindelwald or Dumbledore.
There's no such thing as abuse. It's called overly loving something.
Motherfucker, the whole movie's about abuse of power. All the movies are about abuse of power. They're about a ultra powerful, evil motherfucker coming back to life and still being evil and ultra powerful.
Tom Riddle. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you guys for listening. You can find us on all podcasting platforms. We are available on there.
And on Pornhub.
Yeah. Well, actually, more X videos, I think.
Spank bang.
There we go. You can find us there. And if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We will see you next time, whenever that may be. Once again, I am Detective Artemis.
It's me, your boy K.
And we drink and we watch things. Cheers to Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Clink. That was a loud one just for you guys.
We'll see you next time.